Good morning. I'm Dallas Seeley, founder and owner of the Seeley Group, and today we have a very special client interview near and dear to my heart. Not only is she one of our top and longest term clients we have to date, but she's also the godparent of our kids, the one and only Miss Anna Sanchez. You guys ready? I'm ready. Here we go. Good morning. I'm Dallas Seeley, and I am sitting here honored with not only one of my longest term clients, but now when I say family, she's actually the godparent of our kids. Y'all give a big round of applause for Miss Anna Sanchez. Right there, right there. So thank you so much. We are here in your gorgeous custom home, and we've got all the vibes going, but I've got a couple questions to ask you. First one, can you introduce yourself and talk about what the story behind you working with myself, Amy, and the Seeley Group?
Okay. Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you for having you, Dallas. Talk about an honor. It's great to.
It was a long commute, 2 doors down, walk over here this morning.
It's right. So the first time we were there in the beginning with the Silly Group, we knew you before when we knew you when, and that's been super exciting. We first met at HEB,
That's right.
and
That's right.
you caught us shopping that one day, and
They tried to run away from me. It was epic.
well, one of us ran away, the other one stood by. Okay, but that was back, and we actually ended up working out together and knew you before Amy, and you were married, and so it was nice to have been friends for as long as we have now, family. So super excited to have gone through this journey with you guys, both personally and professionally.
She's known me before I even was with Amy. It's been over a decade, long time.
You're dating.
We were dating, that's right. So, where I snagged you in the HEB, I got y'all to come out and try one of my workouts, you were hooked. I remember right when Amy got her license, I had some custom Seeley Group T-shirts made, best of the best, the softest quality, and, after giving y'all a couple T-shirts, from that day forward, y'all were hooked.
We were.
There's some great shirts. So, walk us through our real estate journey together. I remember the very first step. Y'all came to us and said, "Hey, Dallas, we want to build an investment portfolio. What are all the options?" And we talked about that, and I'll let you kind of tell the story from there.
Yes. We have always been real estate investors for a long time, started with the very first homes that we ever purchased on our own. And now we were at a point in our lives where it was time to diversify our investments, and real estate was going to be one of them that we wanted to diversify with. It was only natural to call you and the Seeley Group because one, we were already friends. We already had built a level of trust. Having been through one of your workouts, we knew that accountability was there. We knew and trusted you. And besides, we couldn't have been in better shape at the time. So we knew if you were able to do that with us, you could help us with our real estate. So so that was the nicest part, and what you were able to do for us is really open doors to investment opportunities that we would not have known about, and that really created a huge success for us for those 2 particular investments that we purchased.
We did well. I remember there was a brand new community opening up in Southeast Austin. I took y'all there, loved the product. We were going for more of that conservative kind of classic buy and hold investment play. And at the time, I had perfect timing another client that also wanted to purchase 2 investment properties. So I was able to parlay 4 purchases at the same time with the same builder use that negotiation power, and I remember we got one heck of a deal.
We sure did, and these were not resales, these were
Brand new.
brand new homes, brand
Brand
new rentals
Mhm.
at a fantastic price point.
So y'all, we got you into those 2 new builds. I believe y'all held on to them for 5 or 6 years?
The goal was to hang on to them for 3,
'Kay.
and we ended up hanging on to them for 5 years.
And how did that investment play turn out?
That return on investment was nearly 50%.
So, I believe we purchased them in the mid to low 4s, so
Nope. 2s,
and the
purchased them, sold them in the
that's right. And so, your just kinda your overall take-home profit the day was over 200?
it was almost 200,
Okay.
just shy of 200.
So that was a good move.
It was a great
That was a
move,
good move.
a great move.
All right. So next question. I told you this before. National Association of Realtor stats, something crazy. Like 78% of consumers don't go back and use the same real estate professional. Before we started working together, you were in that stat, right? You know a ton of agents. You were born and raised here in Austin, Texas. You are the unofficial mayor of Austin. You know everyone. And so the question is, what you've now done 5 or 6 deals with myself and the Sealy Group. What has kept y'all coming back year after year each time?
What keeps us with the Sealy Group is the fact that we've been able throughout the years to build a relationship, and we mentioned early on that we're family now. So, but at the time, you already understood what our goals were, and you understood what our needs and wants were when it came to either investment properties or personal residence. So it made sense for us to stay with you. You already knew us, you knew what we liked, you knew what we you knew what we liked before we even knew we liked it. So it was that kind of relationship that i- made sense to stick with you. And I think that when you are agent hopping, you don't get that. You don't foster that relationship because it won't be your last real estate purchase.
Mm.
And it just was natural for us to work with the Sager.
So next chapter after we hit a home run with the 2 investment properties, y'all were going through a big personal transition. Both were retiring from your corporate careers and thinking about starting businesses, and there were a lot of moving parts. And, before we get into the new build process, I remember when we started to discuss selling your home, down in South Austin off of Brody. That was a big deal. Y'all had been there almost a decade. You had I mean, we'd gone over and had steaks and wine in the backyard, and y'all just put so much love and heart into that whole it was an oasis in the backyard, from the plants to the pool to the deck to the outdoor kitchen and all the upgrades you have done to the property over the years. It was a really big emotional decision. Kinda walk us through, um, that time and chapter and how we made such a big decision as easy as possible.
You're exactly right on all fronts. It was an emotional decision. We had put a lot of love in that home and we enjoyed it. It was great. And but what we realized that home, even though it was a new build, was still with a builder who already had the design made. Put some custom elements in it. We were able to upgrade a few features. But after living there for almost a decade, we realized there were some things about it that we didn't fit with our style. And i- we knew that, yeah, maybe we should do this, maybe we shouldn't. But what the Silly Group was able to do was really share with us the possibilities of making a change, the possibilities of branching off into this new direction of custom home brewing. And working with you and Amy was incredible because you really inspired us to take that risk when we really didn't know that we could. It was, you think about custom home building and you think, oh, there's no way we can do that. That's so outside of what we're able to do when, in all honesty, it wasn't. And Sealy Group helped us to realize that. And that's what made it a lot easier, is to know, okay, we can do this and it won't be as scary as we think.
So that leads us into our next set of questions. We're in the backyard, we're having steaks, we're drinking wine off of Brody, and we're talking about the next step. And so let's dive deep into how we've come to this point of this gorgeous, over the top, beautiful custom home. First question: what inspired y'all to build a custom home instead of buying a resale in there?
The inspiration really came from watching you and Amy go through that. Before we even made a decision, the two of you were embarking on your own custom home build. Yeah. In this neighborhood.
Hmm.
We ended up falling in love with it after learning about it. And that was super helpful to us because we felt like, well, if they could do it, we can do it. So, but it was that the experiences that we were listening to as you told it really helped us put in place, okay, these are the steps that need to happen. This is what I think is gonna be super helpful. Let's explore. Let's stick our toe in the water. You've heard about your own experience. So let's just kind of see let's just have a conversation with a builder and see about whether or not this is the direction we want to take.
Yeah, I think, and we had spoke with it about it in advance, but in the track home world, there's all different levels on the pendulum, from your Lennars and your DR Hortons to more of the higher price points of your Drees and your Ashton Woods that have some custom options. But when you go into truly that high end luxury custom builder, where these builders are doing maybe 5 to 10 homes a year, there's a lot of due diligence. There's a lot of research. You've got to research the reputation, and will the builder stand behind their work, especially when there's issues. And so uh, it was it was a fun process to work with y'all and basically repeat the exact same steps that Amy and I had been through just a couple years before.
That's right.
So, next question: what were some of your biggest challenges in building a custom home, and how did we help you navigate through them?
One of the biggest challenges is how to keep an eye on it, especially with us. We're very attention to detail. We knew this was going to be the major investment that we've ever done, and we wanted to stay on top of it. So how can we do that and have a career? And these things are moving. We didn't want time to go by without us checking in on the builder, checking in on the progress. So what the Sealer Group was able to do for us that we didn't even think about was, okay, um, the sale of the current house is going to occur. The build is going to take 15 months. Where are we going to live? So we knew we were going to have to rent for a little while throughout the build. But what you helped us realize is, okay, well, let's find some place that's close by. Let's find a place to rent that's within minutes from the build. And that's what you were able to do for us. So that met that need to be present during the process, during all aspects of the build. So we were literally 5 minutes from the build. So if the builder happened to need us to come and check on something, or if we just wanted to come check the progress after work,
Mhm.
we could do that easily and pop in, check it out, and pop out. And we made dozens and dozens, I should say hundreds of visits to the house from the time it was just a lot to the time until it was done.
I think my Dallas direct advice was if you are gonna do this, uh, you know, you've got to go all in. This is a different level, and you have to treat this like your baby. And so, whether you have a meeting planned, or you have to be there because something popped up, or you just want to check on it every single day, the closer you can be uh, to your new build, and the ability to check on your baby every single day or multiple times a week is paramount to the success.
And that made a huge difference. Thank you for that.
You got it. So, kind of transitions into our last question. Looking back, what advice would you give someone considering building a custom home?
The first advice I would give is do your research. The first would be on your builder, research the builder, find out who they are, how long they've been doing it, where they've been doing it. Go look at their product. Lots of times they'll take you to homes that they've already built.
Mhm.
The second thing is do your research on your agent. If a custom home builder tells you you don't need an agent, don't believe them. Go on to the next builder.
Any builder.
You need an agent. And not just any agent. You need if you're in Austin, choose the Sealy Group. They have an enormous amount of expertise in the luxury custom home building. If you're not in the area, then find someone who's got that same kind of experience, not just through their business, but personal experience.
It's one thing to help, we've helped dozens and dozens of clients. It's another thing to go through the process yourself.
Exactly. It's walking a mile in their shoes is invaluable. It's just gonna make a world of difference,
Awesome.
as you did for us.
Thank you. All right. Fun question. Was there a particular moment that really stood out to you in working together in our past?
Absolutely was. And it was when we were gonna sell our house over off of Brody Swains. I remember on Thursday, and this was before the market.
This was before COVID, before it went crazy.
Yeah, before the market went crazy. What I remember, we were having a conference call with you and Amy and discussing. We already made a decision we were going to go ahead and sell and move in this direction of custom home building. So now it was a matter of, okay, when are we going to sell? How is it going to?
What's the best timing? How can we get the biggest return? All that good stuff.
And it was in December. I think it was around the December timeframe.
Which
It's a terrible time.
historically isn't the time to list a near $1 million home.
So, but we were okay with that timing because we knew that the historical reference was true at the time, and we knew we had time to go ahead and prepare the home for listing. And during this conference call, we're having that discussion and ironing out the price points and the details associated with getting ready. You guys were sharing all that with us. And towards the end of the call, you tell us, okay, well, you guys go ahead and get ready. Start, getting prepared. Here's your list. And I'm just going to put a coming
Yeah.
soon sign. We're just going to
Yeah.
drive by.
It was real like, hey, I know we're not going to officially put on the market till
Yeah.
late February, early March, but just to let you know, I'm going to put a sign up and probably start marking it in advance.
Yes. And we thought, sure. So that we knew that was going to happen the next day on Friday. And Friday night, you give us a call and say, hey, someone wants to come and see this house.
I
Just
just
Sunday. And I thought, well, wait a minute. We haven't even packed a spoon.
You're like,
It's-
Dallas, this is 2 months premature.
We're not ready to, it's not show ready in the least. And you helped us to do some quick things. So we spent the next day, Saturday, doing those quick things. And on Sunday, we went over and had a cocktail with the neighbor while these prospective buyers came and looked at the house. And I think they were there for an hour.
think it was longer.
Longer
They
than
loved it.
they loved it. And we had a negotiation started that day,
Mhm.
and
We were under contract within 24 hours.
24 hours.
Mhm.
It was amazing, and again, that was before the market took off.
So what I love about that is, number 1, you gracefully, I kinda twisted your arm, you allowed us to pre-market the property. We got it sold within, a couple days of putting a coming soon sign in the yard. But because of that strategy, there was no haggling, there was no negotiation. We got you your dream number. And my favorite part, because there was so much heart and soul into that home y'all put into over the years, the new owners are part of the family of a legendary Austin institution, One in a Million, and they saw the heart and soul, and they were honored to continue the legacy. So I think that was above and beyond for all the boxes that could have been checked.
It was a good time. I think all of us were surprised by that move. That's good. Thank you.
You got it. Next question. Can you share a time when our team, either Amy, myself, or anyone from the Sealy Group, went above and beyond for you?
I think I've mentioned the above and beyond the with the Sealy Group is just in everything that they do. It's all the touch points of a process that you're going through in making this investment. And in what I mean by that is with Dallas and Amy, they bring a certain level of balance to how you foster these relationships. Dallas is going to push you to a level that's not very comfortable, but good. and, and Amy will come in and soothe it and help further expand on why taking this next step, next scary step, and why being pushed is a good thing. And I think that was how you all went above and beyond with us is first of all, you understood our reluctance and you helped us overcome that. And again, it was by your personal experience. So I can't really put my finger on one or two different experiences I had with the Sealy Group. It is truly from the moment you begin that conversation of what your heart wants, your dreams, your goals for your home, your largest investment, or just diversifying your investments and really having both of them and their level of expertise and the way they see purchasing real estate is really is how they go above and beyond for not just us, but from what I see personally, it was with all their clients. So not a bad choice with the Silly Group.
Well, for the record, I totally read the room and cheated on the Brody sell, because that was a big deal. And so I had to bring in the ringer. I brought in Amy Seeley to help with the empathetic and the soft skills. But I think, you know, and you tell me whether you hire when you hire us, whether you want myself to be point, whether you want Amy to be point, or anyone on our team. i- a big difference that we pride ourselves on is you get the entire unit. You get the entire group, not just a solo agent.
Yeah. And I think you hit the nail on the head here by you read the room. You're skilled enough at what you do that in the first 5 minutes, you're going to know what team, who on your team
Is the best
be
fit.
the best lead,
Mhm.
while you all have a hand in the success of that particular client. I think you do a fantastic job in identifying who's going to be the better lead in this transaction. But again, I use the term transaction, and that's not how you proceed it. Is this truly an experience with the Sealy Group that is about finding a way to navigate that client towards their dream on what or the goal or whatever that may be for that person. So, yes.
The last questions I had prepared, what would you tell someone considering working with us? How would you describe our approach? Final thoughts, all that good stuff. But, going a little off cuff, I think I'd love to hear from you. Yeah, I mean, you know better than anyone the stats that something like 93% of agents fail in their first 18 months. New National Association Realtor stat came out that something like 80% of realtors didn't close a single transaction last year. And so when you look at this profession long term and you see the whole forest and not a tree, you really have to understand that this is the single largest financial transaction anyone will ever make. It's the second biggest emotional decision anyone will ever have behind who they marry. And so the magnitude of helping guide someone through this process to me is like being, the officiant at someone's wedding, or maybe being someone's mentor or marriage counselor. Like it is an honor, but it is a big, big responsibility. So over the years, talk to us about, for lack of better words, the ability to just flat out care and to give a damn, from Amy and myself and our team through all of our experiences together.
If you're in sales, the repeat business is important to any in any industry where you're selling a service or you're selling a product. And I think the way that the Sealy Group approaches their clients is that way. This is not going to be their first purchase, depending on who you're speaking to. It it won't might not be their second purchase. And if they have family members, then there's exponential growth on that relationship. So the way I see the Sealy Group and the way I believe you approach, at least with us, is that fostering that relationship is a long-term investment for your own company. So all the more reason to listen, to understand the gold of your client, and know that that first experience is going to matter the most, because when that opportunity comes again for that client, maybe their child is wanting to buy their first home, or maybe they've got another family member wants to buy a home. The experience that you have with that client makes them think of you first. And that, I believe, is what has been important to us, is why think of anyone else. We have already invested this time in each other, that repeat business, there's no question. We had a great experience the very first opportunity we had with you. And we still have that great experience, and it just gets better, because then now you know the history, you have historical knowledge on that client. So the repeat business, I would say, is what makes a difference for anyone in this space.
Awesome. Well, Anna, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for allowing us to come in your absolutely gorgeous custom home and sharing your story and experience with us. It was an honor, and I look forward to not only serving your family for years and years to come, but now as my kiddos' godparent, uh, having you watch them from time to time.
Oh, love spoiling them.
You got it. And thank you so much for your time. So that was so much fun sitting down talking with Anna about several experiences she's had with us over the years, her journey from investment homes to selling really something that was so close to them for over a decade, off of Brody in South Austin to the custom home building experience. If you guys like what you saw today, if you like what you heard, click on the like and subscribe button above. And if you're looking to buy, sell, invest, or build any kind of custom home, reach out to myself and my team today. We're happy to help. Again, my name's Dallas Seeley. I'm the founder of Northern Seeley Group. We're coming to you live every single week with more value. We'll see you next time.